So finally going to get started cutting pieces. If you saw the intro to this, you'll notice I had 4 different shirts on during that, which means it was taken on 4 different days. And actually it was 4 different days over a couple of weeks. Now I'm feeling like I can get started on this. I got some wood. So these are, I have 2 sheets of, I think they're 12 millimeter thick, approximately a 1/2 inch thick. And it's pre-finished. They're just smooth as can be. And I decided to get the pre-finished ones because they had some for $60, pre-finished on both sides. It does have knots, but even those are completely filled, smooth, and finished. So my plan is to use this for all of the structural pieces in there, all of the boxes, everything. 2 sheets should be enough for the entire build, I hope. And the biggest problem will be, because they're pre-finished, gluing will be difficult. So I'll probably, any place that I want to glue them together, I'll probably have to sand off the finish so that the glue will work. We'll get started. I've got some plans. I can share those. And I've got this. This was my starting point. I did some measuring from this, made some minor changes with the design, put it on the SketchUp CAD program and kind of worked out what I think will work. So let's get started. You can see on the bottom areas, there will be cutouts that will go into the track parts that hold the seats, and then this will cut to go around those track portions. And I should be able to use a clamp system to actually lock it onto there. So it'll make it basically as solid as a regular seat would be in there, with no chance of it moving around. That's the goal for all of the components, is to make sure that when they're done and installed, that they can't move. You have a sudden stop or heaven forbid a crash or something, everything should stay exactly where it is, because it should be tied down or bolted down to the seat retaining system that's already in there. It's made for that. We should be able to use all that. This really won't show it very well because these are just some pieces that I printed this way for my cutting. So it doesn't show how it all goes together, but this is the main box piece that's going to be bolted down to the floor. This is the first section that will fold over. On the cardboard it went down to a point, but it will have a height, a couple of inches, 2.5 inches at the end. And then the third piece will just be a little ramp piece for where the feet will be. And if I need to, and these will only be 2 feet because this will get cut in half. Same with this one, will get cut in half, which I completely forgot to draw, which just means that these pieces are only half as long, and I need 2 more of these end pieces. First thing I'm going to work on is that main box piece, and it's made up of only 5 pieces. Well, actually it'll be 7 pieces. The main box will be 5 pieces because there won't be a bottom on it, but there will be an extra end piece, one on each end. That's the piece that will actually go into that track area and get locked in there. And we'll show close-ups of that. From here, we'll probably kind of fast forward things until we get a bunch of pieces. I'm going to pre-cut them to close to the size and then probably put them through the table saw to get the correct angles. The angles on this top corner needs to be 82.9 degrees, and on this bottom one it's 97.1 degrees. That gives me the slope I need, and that will help everything match up. 18, so that should give me all of my uprights. So if I go 18 inches, that's going to be my first cut. Okay, so I've got it set for just a little over 7 degrees. So that's the angle of the slope on the boxes. So I've got this one cut to that 7 degree or 7.1 degree angle. I mean, this isn't that precise, so if it's somewhere in the ballpark, I'll be happy. And now I need to cut this much off of the one end to make total length right. Okay, and there's the first piece. This next piece, so that already gets the angle. I can put the blade vertical again. Let's do that and get the next cut. And they're not that critical, and that's good because this saw is crap. It wouldn't give me accurate cuts if I depended on it. And these anti-kickback board buddies are absolutely finger savers, because if you're working alone, you can get it through there, you can walk to the other end, pull it the rest of the way through. It doesn't try to move on you. Now, because of the bevel, I'm going to put this end up so that it rides along the fence properly. Otherwise, it'll try to put that angle underneath the fence, and then I'll get the wrong width. Okay, that'll be good enough to get any high spots out. It doesn't have to be great, it's just going to be glued and screwed together. But I don't want any high spots on those areas. Need to plan the other pieces and then we can cut those, probably tomorrow. So I got this all laid out. I'm ready to cut all these pieces out. These are most of the side panels. And of course I need 2 more, but I'll take care of that on the next sheet of ply. So I won't have a lot of waste pieces, just this little piece, and then those pieces, and then 2 over there. So very small amounts. It will leave a couple of little holes in there, and that's still better than the alternative of freehanding or something like that. Yeah, I just need, so I can cut those 2 off, and then I just have 1 more angle cut. Cut them to length there. So that's all the cutting for right now. Now we can start getting it assembled. So out of that one 4x8 sheet, here's what we got. These are the uprights for that first main box. So this will be the front edge, this will be the trailing edge, and then this will be the top of that box. These are the end pieces for the box. So this The smaller ones will be the end of the box, and then these will be the parts that go down into the track, so they'll get cut out to fit into the existing track to hold it down. I've got 4 of these, which is enough for that middle section, but I forgot I need to cut 2 more for the very back section, just that little ramp piece. But I'll get that out of the next sheet, and that's part of why I bought 2 sheets. I also ended up cutting these 2 out of a separate sheet that we already had that was already a part sheet. Other than that, this is all I've got for the scrap out of that 4x8 sheet. So I had very little scrap, but I'm still not going to be able to get everything I want for the van out of 1 big sheet, so I needed to buy 2 anyway. I just wish I remembered I needed 2 more of these when I had the piece out there and the weather was good. Now it's a little rainy, so I have to wait a little while to finish the next set. But I wouldn't have cut these out of this other scrap. I would have cut it out of the same piece. So now I have to spray a little bit of clear finish on these 2. They're not quite as nice, but again, it's structural. I don't really care. I can always tape the edges if I'm not happy with it. Now let's look at where we're headed next. This is going to be the end of the main box, but of course it has to be cut and shaped so that it'll fit all the way down to here. And then this piece will go alongside that, and it will actually get cut so that it latches onto or surrounds the pins in here, and then I'll make an attachment method using those. And right now I've got this trolley piece pushed way back so that it's not in the way of the seat, so I can get some scribing on it. So the next thing we're going to do is start scribing, and we'll start this. I'll start working on this today, and we'll get into it as soon as I get it scribed. But basically I'm using a pencil with a Allen wrench taped to it so that I can use it for a scribing tool. Just keep it perpendicular and just go up along all the pieces that it encounters. And over. And it won't be 100% precise, but it'll give me a good starting point. That gives me the starting point to cut out and see how close it is, and I just adjust it until I get it so that it fits down in there just perfectly before I cut any of the wood. We'll work on that next time. Thanks for following along, and hopefully we'll continue working on this tomorrow.